rain starts. Already gotten a couple of runs in for the in the new year, even though it's only a couple of days in. It sounds like we're going to be getting some snow. Keeping my fingers crossed. Potentially a little bit tomorrow or overnight tonight. And the real snow looks to be coming on Saturday through all day Sunday if the setup tracks the way that it's currently being projected, which really is kind of for snow enthusiasts, is really kind of a best case scenario. But keeping my fingers crossed, we really need the snow. Unfortunately, it looks like there's a rain signal coming up on Tuesday, so we'll enjoy what we have while we've got it. And today's going to be an awesome day. A little bit overcast. They were making snow last night. They've been kind of stockpiling for the past few weeks as they've been making snow whenever temperature has permitted and keeping things covered. So, really, really excited about this. It should go without saying, as any of the people watching this who know me, kind of a little bit of a dork. I'm trying to take advantage of the last little chunk of snow that's going to be remaining before the rainstorm we've got that's coming into our area, followed by well above freezing temperatures for several days, hits us. It's actually started snowing right now. It's going to be changing over fully into rain sometime within the next 3 hours or so. So I'm going to try and get in maybe 5 or 6 laps on the local hill while the getting is good. Really keeping my fingers crossed the temperatures maybe overnight trend a little cooler and that the coverage they've laid down so far lasts. And I've got to say, like Mountain Creek, overall, one thing you can never knock them for is their snowmaking and grooming teams. They're just amazing at doing everything they can with whatever they have, what little they have, I should say, that Mother Nature has given them. So, conditions yesterday were pretty dang good after the crowd subsided from the Sunday storm. That was just a madhouse, as I saw it was pretty much everywhere, you know, south of Vermont, basically. I mean, everybody's really, really anxious to get on the snow, and not having seen snow in your backyard and then finally seeing it, even people seeing flakes in New York City, of course, is going to mob any of the area ski areas. But it should be a fun hour or two. Nice little extended lunch break, and then back to the grind. Well, I made it an hour with 2 runs. So the pouring rain is definitely melting all of the snowfall from the storm we got a couple of days ago, which is quite unfortunate. At any rate, wasn't going to stick around to try and like see if things were going to improve. Although, like, I still think they may. More so while I was in the parking lot, like some of the regulars were there, and like they had given up after 3 runs max. Most of them gave up after 2 runs, like me, and they were just hanging out. So, just really keeping my fingers crossed. All right, well, trying the post rainstorm mountain conditions once again. Let's see if today is a little bit better conditions. You know, it's wild. I know some people hear about me hitting the mountain, multiple times in a week and stuff like that. And I know there are folks who go for, regularly take full day trips. I used to go on the mountain from first chair to last chair quite frequently, but it's tough, especially being a parent. I specifically kind of chose my career path in some ways because of the fact that it allowed me to have the freedom to ski during the winters. But I have to say, even being able to sneak out for my 2-hour extended lunch on a work day, sometimes can be more than slightly a bit of a challenge. Even if my workload is clear, I can't always, if I'm working from home especially, being able to just get out and do something can be a bit of a challenge, or a little bit of an argument from time to time. I guess that's just the way of things, but it's definitely a little different, and justifies in many ways the reason why I get out as frequently as I do. Just because when I can get out, usually the most I'm able to be on the mountain for as of late is 2.5 hours max. It's been, say, probably 5 years since I last went to a resort outside of my home mountain, or was able to go skiing for a true full all day. Hopefully that changes. I mean, I know it will. As Finn gets older, it's going to make things easier, and I'll be able to, take him along. He's already expressed an interest in skiing, enjoys watching ski movies along with me. He's been talking a lot about wanting to get on the mountain. A little bit of a challenge finding boots that'll be the right size for a 3-year-old. I know next year it'll be a little easier. I'm already keeping an eye out for a nice set of transitional boots and a set of skis that'll last him for 2 to 3 years. Just really want to get him in kids camp next year. I just hope that the weather in this area cooperates. It's kind of difficult to justify spending the kind of money on getting a pass, knowing the fact that the amount of time they're going to spend on the snow is not going to be that long anyway. As it is, spending only 2 hours on the mountain when I go typically per visit is already a little bit of a challenge. You get your 5 to 15 runs in, but depending on the crowds, but it's just not the same. You start feeling like you're in the groove where your legs are sitting right under you, you're properly riding on your edges, and then you get that call, or you look down and realize, oh no, I've got to be home, and then that's that. So it'll be a lot of fun once the little dude is old enough and capable enough for us to say, like, hey, it's Wednesday, don't have school for some reason or another, let's just jump in the truck and ride up, spend the night in a parking lot, sleep, camp in the parking lot, and then get first chair in the morning and ride. I guess it's kind of a difference in the way that some people look at skiing and kind of regard activities in general. When it comes to doing outdoor activities, particularly those that kind of involve other people that aren't part of, let's say, a group that you can coordinate with. I mean, I know some folks think I'm crazy, and I've been criticized before for kind of being a bit of a push in the mornings, but there's a reason why on a snow day or a skiing day, it's up at 6 a.m. Let's be in the car. I want to be in that lot, so this way we're in the lift line for 8 a.m. and get your full money's worth. I mean, when you're talking about an excess of $80 a day for a midweek pass, that's a lot of money to spend for what amounts to 6 to 7 hours of time on the slopes, if you're just hitting it the whole time and not really taking many breaks off. I know some people look at it as more of a social thing, or as a show up, and I don't know, I guess maybe it's just because of the way that I started skiing solo by myself and being able to just jam in those runs that makes kind of instilled within me that that sense of, I just need to get to the mountain, I need to get on the mountain, I need to get up there and get on the snow and get in as many runs, as much time on the snow as I can. I mean, I guess part of it subconsciously probably is the fact that since I've started skiing, winter seasons have continuously, for the most part, my ski seasons have gotten shorter. And when I first started, I was single. I was working in construction, working with a company and with coworkers who all skied as well. So wintertime, there were plenty of opportunities for us to head upstate. There were always couches to crash on, folks who could, help you line up a locals deal, tag a ride to the mountain with them and stuff like that. As time has passed, not as many of my friends are really into skiing. And then being able to coordinate with family time, family funds and expenses. I'm not well off by any stretch of the imagination, even though on paper it looks like we do relatively well and should be relatively comfortable. Cost of living in this region is extremely high, and you have to kind of prioritize what you're going to do. We don't really travel much. Our vacations are pretty much just camping, which isn't a problem. We love camping. We invested in and spent the money in getting a camper trailer a few years ago, and obviously that's one of the expenses. But being able to justify a hotel room or anything else is really tough, especially when, in our household at this point in time, and since my wife and I were together, the only one who's really been into skiing is me. So if I want to take a ski vacation, then that's taking away from resources to be used for a family vacation. That's always the challenge, is with limited PTO and limited funds, prioritizing. It's why I get out, the couple hours a day during the week, whenever I can, when work permits. It's nice to be able to work from home, kind of plan out my schedule in such a way that I can sneak out for the time it takes me to get to the mountain and back. All of the rain that we had after the fog rolled in, because we had some rain, and then over the past 2 days it's been pretty gross. So I know that the amount of snow that was sitting there on the trail right now should be pretty decent. I have a feeling that you know, as long as it has enough time to drain, which is why it's almost good that there's a noon opening for south, that conditions should be very springy at least. It's basically been the defining feature of this season, is that so far, at least for this month, conditions at Creek, and it looks like based on like, you know, the Facebook groups and some of the forums online and stuff, that the defining feature overall of this January has been spring conditions, just universally spring conditions. So I don't know, maybe you know, February, March will bring some of the craziness we've seen in other similar, I guess, cycles in a sense, where the, you know, January and December got off to a little bit of a, more than a little bit of a late start, and weren't particularly productive while we had large amounts of moisture. But ultimately, you know, I feel like the last time we had this much moisture, we had colder temperatures, so we were able to get considerably more cumulative snowfall. I think about, you know, before the season before I met Jess, and the season before that, I think as well, we had enough snow to be able to build a ski jump in the backyard of the house. We were skiing through the woods in the backyard. So that was the last time that we had this particular, I guess it's El Nino or La Nina, I can't remember which one of the two of them it is. But today should be a really good day though. I'm looking forward to at least getting in a few laps before I have my midday meeting. Thankfully, it's a phone call. I was really hoping to be able to, you know, cap off the end of the month tomorrow by being on the mountain, but it looks like I'm going to be back in this city, so such is life, I guess. But as of now, February seems to be somewhat slow for me work-wise, so I'm hoping to at least get a few days in. At this rate, I may end up just doing some camping of some sort too, or hiking on one of the weekends. Would love it to, you know, for the ground to be frozen, but see what happens. pretty dang good day, I've got to say. You know, got a few hours in, got a couple of good runs in, and with the way that my schedule at this point in time is filling up for February and March, I've got to get it while the getting is there. No such thing as a bad day skiing. It's kind of, I don't know, there are a few things that are universal, but I would say that definitely is one of them. Just the thought of getting myself back into the state of mind of going back to the city tomorrow. Well, you know what? January was a good month.